for life.
Welcome back to another episode of Duel with myself, Alicia Solomon, and Megan Hines, where we discuss everything the challenge. We are back for season 38, the continuation of Ride or Dies, episode 11. We have gone through a little bit of a Nelly roller coaster this episode because we got trivia and we thought it was going to go one way for Nelly, and then it ended up going another way. So that's a little teaser.
Yeah. Pleasantly surprised, I would say.
Pleasantly.
Pleasantly.
But we also are revoking somebody's black card for a certain
Ooh,
answer that they did not know.
Charlie. That I was like,
Okay.
sir.
Okay. Okay. Boston's finest. Let's go.
So we come back into the episode. Wait, first off, the name of this episode was really Nelly Ride or Die with Me. They really played that up.
Yeah, they did a lot with that. The names of this season have been interesting to say the least.
Yeah. So we come back into the episode after Horacio's win. Jordan said he wants the team to be as strong as they can be with the members they have left. And then Casey was dealing with Kenny being gone. She said that she's proud of him and that it'll hit her in a couple days that Kenny was really gone. And so I was like, okay. Like how you forgot that for a second that your brother was even there. It'll hit you in a couple days that he really isn't there anymore.
Yeah, because I just feel like this whole moment with her and Nani trying to check in was just so phony because you can see her trying to like drum up the tears and they just weren't coming for her. And she's just like, I'll miss him and I hope he doesn't. It's just this whole moment. It's just like, okay, but he's gone and we don't care. Like, move on, please.
Like Nani called him like the one something like a best guys that the challengers ever had.
Yeah.
He didn't do anything. He gave us nothing.
Oh my gosh. She should know because this is her. That's her upper alley. She gives nothing too, and she's probably one of the best players to ever play this game too. So she knows exactly what she's talking about.
Yeah. And then Nelson and Aries have a rather die little chat about his team's vote in blindsiding him and Olivia last week, called Tori and Anissa the biggest snakes, and reiterated that nobody talked to him or trying to see about what was going to happen. Um, and Nerese was like very basically worried that she may be up next be booted, given that she is a rookie and that she's in a love triangle situation, whatever you want to call it, with Jordan and Tori.
Yeah, I
And
mean, I just feel like Nelson, again, with his whole, we see him more and more in this episode, him getting frustrated with being on the team that he's on. But honestly, it's nothing that he can do at this point because if you keep trying to, promote your frustrations, somebody on your team is going to find out and it's not going to go well for you because at some point of this game, y'all are going to have to go against each other and your ride or dies are going to have to come back in this game. So there's a whole other element that he doesn't realize that this game still has left to be played and how that can affect him going forward. So I get that he's upset that he doesn't have that open communication with them, but honestly, it's better to keep your mouth shut right now before it starts getting around the house rather than you like hold like he needs to just be quiet.
he can't never that's but it's Nelson, he can't do that. That's the thing.
Facts.
And Fessy Bananas also talked about how shook the other team is. And Fessy mentioned how adamant Mariah was about having a Jordan. And Bananas said he knew that Mariah was left on an island with her partner. We all knew this because Fessy only thinks about Fessy when things change in the game. Um, and he brought up the idea that Norith is the stronger woman on the other side that may be the next to go.
I mean, she has been playing well. I don't know how I would put her up against Amber, maybe even Mariah, because, like, yeah, she's been playing well. Don't get me wrong. She's been the brain part of her team with Nelson, and she's held up her own and kept up with Nelson in any type of physical form. But honestly, the game comes down more to that. And so I just feel like they were just using her strengths of her showing herself this season against her, which makes sense. But at the end of the day, it's like you still have other players that you need to go against. And I feel like her being a rookie and having Amber as a champion and y'all just dismissing Amber, it's like, all right, cool.
It's let me get to the Amber things because that the Amber has been given the lesser end of the stick every single time, every season she's been on. Um, and her and Mariah have a chat, and Mariah said she didn't really care as much about what Fessy and Amber's one-sided beef was, um, but she could just want to with Amber. And Amber felt very uneasy about her place in the game because she thinks that she'll be a target because she doesn't have advocates in the game like Nani does on the other team. And so she's always going to short end of the stick with these people. And that's just disheartening because she has the pedigree. She has a challenge to win under her belt. This girl is 4-0 eliminations. 4-1. And they
Yeah.
still play her dust.
I don't understand why they don't respect her, but at the end of the day, she's going to just get it by herself. Like, I appreciate Amber going through everything that she has because she's still going to come out on top. Like, she's never going to let them get the best of her, which is why I respect and I like Amber in her game because these people are haters and it just shows every single time that she comes on the show that they're just hating for no apparent reason.
And the only reason that Fessy and Casey are mad at Amber is because she came on her first season of the show from Big Brother and won. That's the only thing that they're really mad about. Like she came in and did that. Like people are trying to say that she got carried in that final. That woman was lapping CT at points in the final. Be
Yeah,
for
let's
real.
not get the revisionist history where we forget how CT was coming off of his loss and how that whole season he was getting his ass back into CT condition and shape, and she was literally in parts and legs of that final. She was carrying him and way ahead of him. So I hate that revisionist history. Like, oh, CT carried her. No, he did not. She won just as much as he won. But let's not forget how Amber was in front and in the lead of CT at some points of that final.
Yeah. So hats off to her. She's a better woman than me. I would not try and continue to try and be friendly with these people, but this is how the challenge is at this point. People are trying to be friends with one another and not give us quality drama. So I'll get into the daily challenge, which is called Spin Class. And each team will be laying on a big carnival wheel where TJ will spin it, and whoever it stops on has to answer a trivia question. And if they get the right answer, the team gets a point. If you get a wrong answer, the team gets spun for additional 30 seconds. The first team to get the 5 questions correct will win. And I was excited because it was time for trivia, and it was time to see people look stupid. It was enjoyed.
Yeah, we all love trivia because it can go either way. We just never know what the trivia is going to be about. And then this particular trivia, where it was amongst the theme of ride or dies, I mean, some of the questions were like, okay, whatever. But like most of them, at the end of the day, it's just like, if you don't know, you don't know. Some of the answers were atrocious.
Yes, we're gonna get into that. And then Devin said before they even started that they need to lower expectations for him in this because he wasn't great even in like bar trivia. And then Nelson said that he hates trivia because he's never won a trivia challenge, and this is facts. This man cannot answer a lick, but he surprised us this episode. So we got the first team spin, the green team, and Amber got the first question about who was C3PO's robot ride or die. The answer is R2D2. But she didn't even know at all. She acts like it was a cartoon and it was just not good. And she was like, it's not her thing. Star Wars is not her thing, so I get it, but it's still.
Not gonna lie, I would have been in the same boat with Amber because I had no clue what that was. Don't watch Star Wars. Don't care to watch it. I have heard of R2D2, but I just didn't know how that came into the into the equation. So I would have got that wrong right along with Amber. I'm not gonna lie, because that I don't know.
Okay.
Any
And
of
that's
the
the
other
thing.
questions, I would have been like on it. But that
Yeah.
dumbass question to start, I've been like, get that out of here, TJ.
Like I get like Star Wars is a big phenomenon, but I feel like a lot of people still like don't really care for it. Like for a while, I didn't care for the movies, but I knew some of the characters, and then I watched the movies and like I kind of got into it a little bit more. But more people, they don't care about it. They don't watch it, which I respect. I understand. The next question went to Chauncey on the Orange team. And his question was about superstar tennis sisters from Compton. We all know this answer. It is the Williams sisters and Serena and Venus. This man took forever and said fail because he did not know. And he was like, I don't know sisters from Compton. I'm from Boston. And I'm like, sir, I know you're young, but how do you still not know who Serena and Venus are?
I think that was probably the most egregious answer that I heard for the whole thing. And this is where I'm revoking Chauncey's black card, because you can't have a fucking old ass name as Chauncey and don't know who Serena and Venus Williams are. You have to be unserious. Like, bro. And he said it with so much like confidence, like, I'm from Boston. I don't know any sisters from Compton. Like, my man, you cannot be serious. That just blew minds. And I like Chauncey, but like, come on, bro.
Yeah, that I'm like they're everybody knows the Williams sisters. Like even if you don't watch tennis, you know Serena and Venus. Like and it's not and people are he's 23. People his age even know who they are. Like they literally just saw her in the
She
tennis
just
match.
retired. Like, she just had this whole farewell situation. She's regarded as the GOAT, which she is, and you still don't like tennis. Like, it's not even like TJ didn't give a hint. He said tennis. Like, you still don't like, nothing doesn't click up there for you that okay, the only two sisters that's really popping in tennis is Venus and Serena. And then they just had a whole movie with Will Smith playing their father. You didn't watch that either?
Apparently not. Apparently not. Um then you go to Horacio, and his question was famous American couple for robbing banks. We know it's Bonnie and Clyde. I want to give him a pass because he's not from America, and that's a deep cut classic. He didn't know.
Okay, I can see that because he is not from America, but at the same time, it's like, I don't know. Maybe it's just I'm getting to that point where I'm old enough to understand the references of a lot of things, and it's just like, damn, you don't know who Bonnie and Clyde is. Like, it just makes me feel older than I like to feel, because who doesn't know who Bonnie and Clyde is? Like,
Yeah, I like it just reminds me of that damn movie with Megan Good, and I think it was Tyrese.
in Waist Deep,
Yes,
yeah.
because that's it. It was like that was like the ghetto Bonnie and Clyde.
Pretty much. I mean, I wouldn't say Horacio was watching BET and watching the edited version of Waist Deep, but like, still, like, something.
Yeah, but they didn't get a point, so they just they that spin whenever they got it wrong, they were just dreading it. Um, because I'm gonna get to one when Orange Team got something wrong and somebody farted. Um, next question was for bananas, and it was about a female ride or die pair that drove off a cliff. Delma and Louise. That was easy. Um,
Yeah, I mean, Johnny's old, so he would have gotten that.
and he don't like trivia either. Like it's a story thing with him on this show where it is very hit or miss with him, and he got it right. And the next team, Nani was next. Um, She got this wrong. This was Red Eye Sisters in Frozen. We all know the answer is Elsa and Anna. Her answer was Ella and Grace. She said that with some confidence, and Casey's on the other side, just like, I wanted to rewatch this movie. And Nani still didn't know.
Yeah, that answer was too funny because it was just like, where the hell you coming with these names from? Like Ella, I could kind of understand because Elsa is kind of adjacent to Ella, but like, who's Grace? Like, where did you come up with this?
This ain't Will and
I
Grace.
can't. Yeah, like Will and Grace, like that's the wrong show. That's the wrong industry. That's a TV show.
Oh Lord Jesus, that I was like, she was really just sitting there like Ella and Grace, huh? Like the big, even adults know Frozen, and they know it's Elsa and Anna. And your girlfriend on the side is like, I wanted to rewatch this movie, and she knew it. Anyways, next question was to Anissa, and it's about star-crossed lovers in Shakespeare's play. We all knew it was Romeo and Juliet. So at this point, the orange team has 2 points, green team has none, and
This
it's
is where
looking
it starts
bad.
to get interesting.
Yeah. Next up, we had Jordan go up, and he had to spell Anissa's last name. And on first try, I couldn't even get it. I had to look it up again to get the right spelling. Because he answered Ferrara, when it really is Ferreira. But nobody knows how to spell it.
Well, that's because one, it's like an unconventional way of spelling Ferrara, but I would have got that wrong because I don't know Anissa's last name. Like, and I've been watching her on like for like 20 years. So, I mean, he should have known because he's partnered with her. But yeah, I was like, this girl got a last name. I didn't even realize.
Whenever I would spell it, I would switch the I and the E. That's what tripped me up. But it's the E before the I. Um, Next we had Nelson, and we know Nelson dreads trivia because he looks like a complete fool every single time. Um, but his question was, who were the Full House twins? And he said Merrick and Ashley, which is obviously the correct answer, and he got another point for his team. He was very excited for that. He was like, yeah, I got it. It's a miracle
Yeah,
season
the
for
middle
him.
fingers was very excessive from Nelson. Like it was a lot going on, but I understand because he's typically not good at trivia. So I'm gonna give him a pass, but he was a little excessive in that moment. Like it was too much.
Oh, geez. I didn't even realize he even threw up the middle fingers. I didn't catch that at all.
He threw it up twice, like twice when he got the right answers. He was throwing the middle, and I'm like, who are you throwing that middle fingers to yourself? Because you're the one who gets the answers wrong. Like I'm not understanding.
I don't know. That man is something else. The next question was for Nerese. It was the Italian plumbers who are part of an iconic video game. And it was Mario and Luigi. The first question that the green team got correct. So at this point is 3 points for orange and 1 point for green. And I was like, this is not going to go well because like I was like, if y'all all being stupid on green, I'm like, this is bad. But they got it together. Next question was for Tori, who got the question about Retta Die's besties who wrote the movie Good Will Hunting. I'm gonna tell you, I did not know this at all. I did not. I've heard of the movie, but it passed my mind on who actually did this movie.
Okay, same. But when she said Brad Pitt, I was like, that's the wrong white person because I knew it wasn't Brad Pitt. But
Yeah,
it was like a crew of them, like Ben Affleck, Matt Damon, Leo, back then who started to get their start in that time. So I knew it was one of them, like you know, in that area of white
mm-hmm.
people, but I did not know exactly who it was. But when she said Brad Pitt, I'm like, okay.
Girl, be for real. But it was Ben Affleck and Matt Damon. She said she never watched the movie. I didn't watch it either. So I'll give it to her on that at least because all the men were like, "How you not know this?" But she didn't watch it. It's okay. The next. Oh, and also after that, after she got it wrong, they did their spin. Can you guess who farted? Do you remember who farted on that spin?
Yeah, how can I forget? Because he decided to lift his leg up and like move his hand so he can like wave the air of fart into people's direction as if they're not already spinning on a vertical kind of apparatus. It was really like this man is not all the way there. Like he is really not all the way there. It's really concerning.
He's not like what possessed him to just do that.
To like spray the like to like fan the air was even more intense to me. Like what are you doing?
Nelson is something else. I don't. I that man is a mess. Okay, so the next question was to Mariah, and there's a spell animosity. She did the correct spelling. She got it right. 3 teams got 2 points. When they started putting the spell in here, I'm like, okay, uh, I guess.
Yeah. I mean, the spelling was fine. There wasn't like anything crazy.
Yeah. Next was Casey, but this was a dumbass answer. Um, which biblical couple lived in the Garden of Eden? We all know it's Adam and Eve. With so much confidence, Casey said it was Eden.
Eden and who though? Like she didn't even give another name. It was supposed to be a couple. She gave a half-ass answer. Like, bro, what are you even talking about? I'm gonna pray for that lady's soul. Cause girl, you did not even read in Genesis. Like, not even the first chapter.
Like, in fact, he was like, I'm not a Christian, but I know it's Adam and Eve. Like, everybody
Like,
knows the
come on.
story. Like, even at one point in your life, as a child, you was in church and they told you about Adam and Eve. And that's the one big story that everybody knows. How do you not know that?
It's like even if you didn't go to church, like I can't like how you don't know that. Like that is just crazy to me.
Yeah. Next question went to Devin, and it was about Scooby Doo's Ride or Die. And it was Shaggy. We all know. And that's 3 points for Green. So now we're tied at 3 points for both teams. So Green is making a comeback. Next, we have Olivia spelling allegiance. She spelled the word wrong.
No, what spell what she spelled? Because I literally was like, is she slow too? Like, what is she spelling?
It was L. Okay, I think I spelled her version wrong because I didn't look up and again and see the actual way she spelled it. But I thought she spelled it with just one L.
She spelled it, she was on the right track, and then she said allegiant, like A-N-T. And I'm like, you didn't
And
hear
there's
him
two
say
C's.
allegiance?
There's two C's.
Like,
I remember I did see that she put in two C's.
yeah, but it's like he said allegiance, not allegiant.
I don't know. But Olivia, the correct answer is Allegance. I know you were around Nelson and some of that rubbed off on you, but girl,
Yeah,
be for real.
a little too much rubbed off on her because I don't know what that answer was.
Same. Next was Mariah. Now this is where it gets sad but funny. Her question was Faisal's birthday month. She said September. His birthday month is actually October. He is
Okay, she wasn't far off, but still
yeah,
wrong.
yeah. And then Faisal went next, and he was asked how many siblings Mariah had. His answer was 3, And that was wrong because she has 6 siblings. She is one of 7 kids, and
Which is a lot of
she
kids. I didn't realize that.
yeah. And I think she said that she told him that she was one of 6 siblings,
Yeah.
one of 7 kids, and he didn't remember. And this shows that they are they are not actually friends. I feel like they really just met and got on the show. Like
Yeah, like
that's it.
they probably knew each other in passing, and he figured she'd be good to be on the show, and came on the show with him. That's what
Yeah,
it's giving.
yeah. Next question was for Nerys again. What was Nelson's personal moniker for water? And we all know it. It's Scubanelli. And so now, the green team has 4 points, one more, and they could take it. Next, for Nelson, famous Vermont duo that has an ice cream brand. And he said Ben and Jerry's, which was correct. So the orange team also get 4 points. He was on a roll.
Yeah, his two answers, he was definitely on the road, and he threw up the middle finger once again. Like, yo, bro, what's up with you?
He hates trivia, and he was like, that was probably his got you moment to trivia, I guess. The next one is for Devin, and his question was.
Sorry, because this answer blew mine. This answer really blew mine.
His question was about who was the artist on Empire State of Mind. Should I do the right answer first or his answer first?
Do his answer, because I feel like listeners and smart people out there will know the answer if you've ever heard a smidget of this song. You already know who it is. So it's just like, bro.
so, so his answer was Jay-Z and Rihanna.
Yo, I never heard Rihanna sing nothing about New York, like ever in my life, bro.
Same.
Like, I'm just like, wrong black person, dude. Like, wrong black lady. That really blew minds.
And wrong complexion. They're not even the same complexion. They don't sing the same.
Bro, that really blew minds. I'm not gonna hold you.
It did to me too. I'm like, you got the right rapper, right? The wrong singer, who is a totally different style from the actual singer in Alicia Keys. You don't see Rihanna on a doing a piano singing a song. We don't see that. That is Alicia Keys. Like the one thing I remember is everyone remembers this. They sang this damn song on MTV Awards, and Lil Mama's ass got up on the stage for New York.
Yeah,
Like
that was. She never lived that down. She never really bounced back great from it. So like, but even if he didn't get that reference of it, it's just the fact that you said Rihanna instead of Alicia Keys. Like, what makes them even in the same category? Like, I don't understand.
I don't know. I can't. I don't even have that answer either. Like I'm just like Alicia Keys can also sing "Stay," but I don't think Rihanna can do one of her songs. I don't think so. Like that's the range.
Let's not get into range and where people can go. Oh, okay. The queen is back
Okay.
outside. That's all we need to know. Rihanna's back outside. She's
Yes.
dropping music. She's great. Alicia Keys is somewhere still being a little positive home wrecking lady.
Because Alicia Keys can do "Stay," but she can't do "Brew Boy." That's a better thing to say about Alicia Keys.
True.
So, the next question was to Bananas. And he had to do a math question. That was the last question for the game for Winner Takes All, since Devin got that answer incorrect for his team. It was 10 times 4 times 3 minus 2. Correct answer, 118. Now, I don't know what this has to do with ride or dies.
I don't know either, and I feel like at some point in the game they was like, I don't know, because they started off with the theme of ride or dies for the trivia, and then this happened. Like, I don't know if they just got tired and they just pulled out a random ass question, like the tiebreaker. They probably thought Devin would have got the tiebreaker right and then ended up giving Banana something else. I don't know what happened because it just really didn't make any sense.
No, like that does not fit at all. But Bananas got the equation correct, and the orange team wins. And I, for one, am shocked and appalled that the orange team really won a, this game in comparison to the green team. That was a bad showing. Bad showing.
Honestly, Devin is to blame. I don't care. He's the one at fault here for not getting that last answer right because he was the one who could have led them to the victory if he would have gotten that answer right. But I mean, yeah, some of the questions is just it was just like, and the fact that it kept going to certain people twice, like I don't think everyone got like a fair share. So I was like I wasn't really feeling that, but regardless, it was just interesting to see how they pulled out that victory.
Yeah. And so now that the orange team won, they have to integrate all four women from the other team and pick their choice to go into the zone. And we go to the club night where Nelson tells Devin that he hates his team and he would rather be on a loser team with trust than a winning team with fake people. More of
I
his
mean,
constant,
yeah, we talked about this earlier. I feel like Nelson just has to get over it and stop saying that shit to other people because it's gonna get back to his team.
yeah. Then Amber told Chauncey that she doesn't want to go down to elimination, but knows that she is an option to go down because of Nani having people on the team that would not say her name, and people on the other team don't like her. So it was very up in the air for her to possibly go in as the main vote. Um, and Bananas asked Mariah about options on her team. Mariah said not Nerys, but Johnny was really leaning towards Nerys as the main vote for who they're going to pick.
I mean, he runs that team essentially. Like they have strong personalities, but I feel like people are just gonna follow his lead because he is who he is, and so Mariah is no different. Even though she's not even on that team, he still knew that if he told her that Nerys was the pick, then it would have like the dominoes would have just fell from there.
Yeah. He told her that he only really in the game he only really cared for her and Nani. Um, and I'm like, okay, cool, move on. Let's get to the next person. Um, because they showed them have a kiss, and I was like, you don't need to see this old man kiss this one lady.
I literally cringed when I seen it. Moving on, please. I don't want to throw up.
And Tori and Horacio were talking as well. And Tori said that she respects Amber as a vet. She went through basically the reasons like why she liked different people. Um, Mariah helped her out, but didn't pick her for her team. And she said that Nerys was cool, but she has that little situation with Jordan going on. And she said she wanted to be calculated about her vote, but she said she also kind of just might be spiteful. And I'm like, girl, y'all are done. What else do you want from that man?
I mean, at this point, his storyline is tired and she just has to stop because there's no reason why she keeps talking about this every week. Like, no reason.
Like, I get, like, y'all was in bed together, cuddling, but you still have feelings for this man that are gonna change are gonna change, but for you right now, it's never gonna change. But there is no possibility y'all get back together. Like, you're just Mad for what? Because y'all not together. And the fact that she is really more so mad that they're doing things in her face, walk away. And also, we've seen you on TV and other men's faces the last couple of seasons, even after you and Jordan broke up, and even right before. So, why are you doing this? That's my question. That's my QCNA because I'm tired.
Yeah, I'm tired of her.
And she was talking to Anissa, Nani, and Casey about plotting to pit Nerys in. And she was like, I don't really care for what Nelson and Chauncey think either. We're just going to do it because we have the numbers to pit Nerys in. So, yeah. And then Nerys talked to Jordan before going to the interrogation. And he gave her some advice, just keep it brief and don't really say a lot. And he told her that Tori would make it a weird moment because it's Tori.
I mean, he knows her best, so he already knows what she's about to bring.
Yeah. And so they go to interrogation. They have a talk the team does first. Anissa said that basically Nani and Amber have proven themselves. Nani with her experience, Amber with her elimination record at this point being 4-1, and also winning a challenge in that own right. And she said that Nerys and Mariah have had good showings, but they are rookies, so they need to go and still prove themselves. And Nelson had to take a moment to vent his frustrations to his team, and he said he can't really trust them.
Which is cool that he actually brought it to their attention rather than keep talking about it. But honestly, it's like, what do you want them to say at this point? Because they're not going to change their minds. They're playing their games ultimately, and even though you're on their team, it's still majority wins. So you're not going to really get what you want at the end of the day. So it's good for him that he was able to express that to them, but also it's just like, okay, cool. So now what?
Yeah. And they started to talk to the girls. Nani comes in first, and she said that she may be left out to dry with the dagger pool if they vote Amber in as the main vote, and it's her, Mariah, and Nerys as the dagger pools. And she knows that Nerys and Mariah will save each other, and she'll be going in. Um, like which makes sense because the Ricky guys stick together, so it is what it is with that. Mariah said that she didn't want to make the main vote and she wouldn't say a word about who she would want to see go in or who she wanted to go against either, um, which is smart on her part. And Amber just said to give her a chance in that she was really relying on receipts that she had. Like no one has had her back, aside from Chauncey. And she's still holding a little something against Nelson for throwing her in the first time. So that's that. And then we get to Nerys, and Nelson bigs her up for getting him his wins this season. And Johnny asks what separates her from the other girls. She explained that, but she didn't really say as much more about things pertaining to like who she would want to go against and who she would think should go in. But she said she was really leaning into Jordan's advice to just keep it brief and cute. So yeah, that was that from all four of them. Then they got it back into a little back and forth after all of them left. Um, that like first they knew that Nerys and Mariah would save each other, and Fessy said he wasn't going to say Mariah's name, and he's voting in Amber, which that man is still going to hold something against her forever, and it's truly sad to see.
Yeah, I mean, he's just a hater. Point blank, period. He's mad she won. He hasn't won. He's been boo hoo crying about it ever since then. So it is what it is with him.
And then Johnny said that taking out Nerys for the other team will be a detriment to them. And then Fessy was like, well, if we wanted to weaken them, we could have did that last weekend, putting in Jordan or Devin. And like we could have done something different last week, but now y'all want to decide, oh, let's weaken as a team. What is it?
Which is true because even though he wanted to get rid of Jordan because he really wanted Jordan on his team. Uh, I mean, the logic now is to try to weaken them, which is like they haven't won in the past 2 weeks. So what are you essentially trying to weaken is really not making any sense. But at the same time, like you saying this now is like you should have did this last week when you had the opportunity, but you didn't.
Yeah. Um, he was just going everybody else with the vote for last week. Y'all could you could have said it in interrogation when y'all was talking, but no one was really talking like at that point. But everybody knew who they were gonna vote in, so it's just like y'all don't talk to each other unless it's like y'all actually have to talk to each other. Um, and Nerys was fighting for his life to save Nerys, because he was saying that they don't know what domination is because they believe that if it's gonna be a puzzle, she's gonna go in. Because she is one of the smarter girls, I guess, on the team. And he was like, we should wait and see what it is and vote accordingly to that. Which I get, but y'all need to be on a united front no matter what. And it's just like, I get you are trying to save your girl, but it's a losing fight because at this point, the writing is on the wall. Like they're gonna most likely just vote in Reese.
Yeah, I mean, I can appreciate him trying to stand up and at least put up a fight to try to not get her voted in. But at the end of the day, like majority rules, and as you saw last week, it didn't matter what he said, what he even came up with. Like, good on you for having a voice in the room with them at the same time that this is happening, but you're still not going to get what you want because you're not in the majority here.
Yeah, and Nani told Amber that she'll save her in the draw, and Mariah is stressed about the possibility of her going in. She told Nani that she'll save her and wants its implication, and then she proceeded to act ditzy in her conversation with Amber about what will happen in a nation, and was like, "Girl, what are you trying to give her this?" Like she was like trying to say that Amber was trying to private information, which she is, but she's not being malicious. So I don't. That kind of rubbed me the wrong way a little bit.
Yeah, I feel like Mariah definitely turned on Amber when she realized that she had Nani support in this whole situation that happened, and she was just like, "Well, now I kind of don't need her," because in in the episode, she literally was like, "I feel for Amber, like blah blah blah. I've seen how Fessy has played Amber and all this other stuff." She was empathetic to that, but then when it came down to it, she really just was like, "You know what? Forget her, and I'm just gonna use Nani and her power and her strength with the people that she has left over to use that to my advantage." It's like, okay, girl. So you're just playing a game.
Yeah,
You're just like Fessy.
yeah. I'm like, girl, Jesus, oh Lord. I was like, this is why Amber needs to be friends with nobody in the show because they always gonna do something weird. Um, then Reese proceeds to apologize to Tori for her role in the love triangle situation and said it was a selfish decision on her part to get involved with Jordan. And Tori appreciated that they had a conversation about this, and she was glad she got closure. And she was really not trying to put blame on Reese. She was more so still mad at Jordan, but she's still putting blame on Reese. So what is it? Like,
She don't know what it is. The fact that she went and said like, "Oh, if I was in your shoes, I wouldn't have done that to you." Like, you're the last person that would have any kind of decorum when it comes to hooking up with somebody in front of a person. So I don't want to hear that shit from her. At the end of the day, she's still mad. She's hung up on her ex. It's really nothing else to it. And the whole situation in itself, it's just like it's so tired. Like, and it's been like a couple of weeks of it brewing, and I just feel like Nerys shouldn't have to apologize, even though like I know how Nerys is in like real life and how she's been moving out here. I just feel like she didn't need to apologize to that girl.
yeah, no. Um, because it's so funny because I saw today that she is back around Johnny Lee. So Yeah. Um, we go to the zone and they start to vote. Traffic starts off and he votes for Nerys. And he said it's not nothing personal with Nelson. It's just I'm just going to vote for Nerys. That's it. Nelson put his vote on Mariah. Um, everybody else voted for Nerys aside from Casey and Fessel. Well, no, Casey did vote for Nerys. I mean, Olivia and Fessel didn't vote for Nerys. Olivia put her vote on Nani because she wasn't going to be voting for the Ricky girls or Amber. Um, and Fessel stuck to his word and said he was going to be voting for Amber. Um, and when Tori did vote, put her vote in for Nerys, she was like, it's nothing personal. And Jordan in his confessional was like, oh, really? It's nothing personal. Sure. Sure, Jan.
Yeah, he already knew what time it was.
Yeah. And so, with 5 votes, Maurice was going into the zone, and we head to the draw. Nani drew first, and she got a blank. Then Mariah drew second and got a safe. And it's funny because Mariah was in Amber's face and saying that she would save her, and then Mariah decided to also go and make a deal with Nani. Nani in turn also said she was gonna save Amber if she got the chance, and then she got a deal with Mariah, which in turn benefited Nani in the long run, and Mariah saved Nani from going in. So it is going to be Amber versus Nerys in this animation, which is very funny because just a few weeks ago, when Amber won her animation on the week that Nerys was in power, Nerys was like, "I'm not phased that she's back." And looky, you're gonna go against her now.
Yeah, karma has a sweet way of coming around. It may not hit you immediately. It may not hit you when you expect it, but it's gonna hit you.
Yeah. So they're gonna be playing Brawl, which is the Argentinian style of a classic game called pole wrestle that we all know and love. And basically, the first person to rip the pato from the other twice will win the submission and stay in the game. And in round one, they both throughout the whole thing, they both were scrappy and they didn't really let up as much. They were really giving it their all. Um, Jordan and Nelson were trying to give Nerys some tips to twist at one point, and Amber was just using her flexibility. Like at one point, she had the pato in her grip, and she was like in the pretzel um, formation. And it's like, damn, everybody was like, she's flexible, wow, and she was holding her own.
Yeah, I mean, Amber just continues to show who she is in whatever situation it is, whether it's elimination, whether it's challenges that she comes up in that she has to, win. So it's not surprising, but like I feel like them seeing it front and center in the elimination is like, damn, okay, I guess we remember why she is a threat because it seems like they don't like her for no reason, but she also is a beast at this game. So they're gonna have to figure out how to deal with this girl.
Yeah. And Amber in the like when she got out the press information she had Nerys on the ground, kind of pinned. She pried it away from her, and she won round one. So that goes to Amber. Um, and in round two, Amber's flexibility worked again because she was in another twisted position. Um, pried the pato away from Nerys again, and won round two. And Amber is now 5-1 in eliminations. Her only loss was to Bettina.
Yeah, that last shout out to Bettina wherever she is. Um but yeah, congratulations to Amber for winning. I feel like again this puts the house on notice because now it's more than just oh we don't like Amber and we're going against her. It's uh more as we have to freaking realize that she has to come back in the house and we still have to beat Amber. So I feel like now it's like they have to come up with a plan when it's another girl's day.
Yeah, I will say too, Nerese was crying, boohoo crying, but in her exit interview, she said that they were helping Amber. Where? Where? I did not hear
It it
nobody
was
say that.
happening a little bit. Like I feel like Tori was like trying to shout for Amber, and so was a couple other people. Like I've heard Johnny in that and when they were in elimination, I heard him yell like for Amber as well. So they were, but it still wasn't like as blatantly as it has been in other situations this
Yeah.
season. Like some situations have been like a little like too much, but they were yelling for Amber. Like I would give her that. I did hear it, which is
It's
surprising.
just, yeah, it's just for me of hearing that, like, they might have been young, but Amber was just in her own little world in that moment. Like, I think she kind of really just blocked them out and how she succeeded. I don't think she
Yeah, I
really
feel like
like.
she used her own like power and strength and her flexibility to win that. But at the end of the day, they were yelling at her. How much did they give her an advantage? I don't think it really did. But Nerese is in line when they saying that because they wanted Nerese out. So
Yeah,
they
it's
were
just
yelling
like
for her.
they were. It's just it wasn't to the extent that it has been as of recent.
Right.
Like, that's the amount of things. That's what she was insinuating in her exit interview. But it's like, girl, they were
Hmm.
yelling, yes, but Amber got out of that on her own. They were yelling, but not to the point where, like, okay, do this, and she got it. Like,
Right.
Amber took her time throughout that whole thing and still knocked that out twice. So yeah.
Yeah.
Um, I was gonna say something that was mean, but I'm not gonna say it
Oh, please
because
don't. It's the holiday season. Just don't.
okay, I won't. I'll ease up on her today, but
Yeah.
once January 1st rolls around, it's a whole new year.
I'm on your ass.
Because we still got the rest of the season left and the reunion, so
Oh yeah.
I'm ready for the smoke because she was really flip flopping um out here. So Reese comes back after a bit, and Tia told her that there's a chance for her to get back as long as Nelson stays in the game, and she was like, "Really? Wow." She was more shocked about it than Kenny. Like, you could really see it in her, like, oh,
Yeah,
I
she
really
was
have a
crying
chance.
because she has a chance to come back in the house and win money, which is her big thing because she wants to put on for her family, which I feel like a lot of people do with the situation. But I feel like she, had that moment of clarity, probably leaving the situation thinking that it was over. And now that she has another opportunity to come back in, she's like, overjoyed.
Yeah. So I will give her that at least. Like, because she's been trying to buy herself to get on the show for a while.
Right.
This was
Right. That's probably her thing. She was like, "Oh, I'm not leaving yet." Like,
this is her dream.
right. Her dream come true.
Yeah. So we're gonna get into the tweets because they were fun and I enjoyed them every week. I enjoyed them. So the first tweet. This has to be the easiest trivia challenge questions ever, except Anita's last name. Can you guess who even said that? Guess who said that?
Um,
It's someone who was on
um
the season.
on this season of the
This
show.
season, yes.
Um, who went home? I don't even know.
Kayla, Sam, Johnny, Raven, Darrell, Veronica.
Darrell?
Yes.
Yeah, he
He was
definitely
like,
wouldn't have got that.
no. I don't think even. I think he would fall out from that wheel too. Let's just
Right.
start though. The next tweet, Mariah doesn't even know Fessie's birthday. He deadass found her at a local Planet Fitness.
OMG. That is funny. That is funny. Not a fan of fitness.
Because I feel like they really just met just a little bit prior to coming on the show, and he put her
Hmm.
name in because he knew we were probably online and whatever, and that's what we got.
Yeah.
But she's a sweet girl. Just a little bit misguided with some of the people in this house. That's it. That's it.
Facts.
Cause she's a strong competitor. Like,
Hmm.
so it's just a matter of, because she was really like stressed this week because like she didn't have protective bestie who don't give a crap about her at this point. It's so she's just trying to figure things out on her own and like lost. So
As always.
yeah. Next one is one thing about Amber. She's gonna get blindsided every time she's down in the elimination arena.
That's a
Facts.
fact.
Yeah. And it's gonna feel her every time. Every single time. So that's love that about her. The last one, Narice sobbing. Girl, bye. You asked for your opponent. And that's that. That's that. She asked for Amber. And look what happened. You're out of the game.
Right. Well, like you said, be careful what you ask for. Now, she's still in the game, technically, but
Yeah.
you know, yeah. I mean, let's not forget Amber and her abilities.
Mm-hmm. So that is all the tweets. I found something that went a little light on the Narice slander, but it's okay. Once, like I said, January 1st hits, the smoke is coming. We got like a week and a half. It's coming back. So yeah.
Narice, my love, I spared you this week, but come 2023, hun, it's on. Okay, like you on another man. So
And I
anyway,
defend. Wait, real quick, because I defended that woman on X on the Beach. I liked her on that show, but she dead wrong. Is she weird? That's my favorite word. People weird. She weird. So that's that. I just want to get that out.
okay. Well, we have still more show to go. I mean, the season is not over yet, and we still have to get through how these players are going to come back into the game and what's really going to, be the end of it. But that's all we have for this week. You can follow our Twitter page at Duel Lines Pod. You can follow Megan's page at Megan. Megs and Hines. Sorry. uh, you can follow my page at ace_s5, and you can follow or watch along on our YouTube channel at Duel Lines Podcast. We'll be back next week, even though it's a holiday. We'll be back to still talk more about the challenge. So thank you guys for listening. Happy holidays, Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah if you celebrate, Happy Kwanzaa. Yeah, all that.
Yeah. Be safe, y'all.
Bye.
Bye.